is Morgan, and I recently had my heart broken. So I did what any logical person would do.
What did you do?
I made a podcast about it.
Why?
Because no matter who you are or where you're from, when you get dumped, everybody's talking about it.
Are they, bitch?
Famously Dumped. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Famously Dumped, the show where we talk exclusively about getting dumped, about breakups that we did not choose. It's so great to have you guys back. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Miller, and we're going to be checking in with me, my emotions, and how I'm feeling today. And today I am feeling pretty good, which is actually a solid win for me today. During these crazy times, I've decided to pick up 100 hobbies. So I'm doing pretty good. Check out my Instagram if you want to see what those hobbies are. I know I'm a little mysterious today. I'm also really good because my guest today is one of my oldest friends in the comedy scene. I've known him for, I don't know, it feels like 30 years, but it probably hasn't been that long. My guest is Pat Regan. He is a stand-up comedian. He can be seen on Comedy Central. He also co-hosts the podcast Seek Treatment. And guys, Pat's on Cameo. So if you like this and you like him, you can go over there. You can get him on Cameo and you can get a personalized message from him. I don't know how much he costs. It's probably not that expensive, but I don't know. We'll ask him when that happens. All right, cool. So let's do this. I mean, come on. I want to see Pat. Let's bring him in.
Hi.
Hello. What are you looking at?
As you said that, I was like, wait, I looked at my Cameo really quick and one failed to upload, but that's okay. That is okay. It's something that was meant to happen.
That's what it is. That's what it is. How are you?
I'm well. I woke up at about 11:50 my time. Now it is almost 3 my time. And I'm just being confronted, which is, I do a podcast and I see myself on that as well, but this must be higher def or something. So I'm seeing myself in a new light and not a super positive one, but that's okay. I'm currently in my same-sex sexual partner's subletted apartment. And I'm doing well. This is like a day where it could go either way.
We love that you have a same-sex partner and that you guys are doing that. Like, congratulations. Thanks for coming on Dumped and talking about how you're in a relationship. It's really nice. But no, we're excited. I'm so glad that you're on the show. You got to get those cookies made. But it's like you have a partner that wants to make you cookies. So, bitch, I don't want to talk about it with you.
I know.
I want to get to this. I want to get to the dumping, if you will.
Yes.
So we're gonna start off. So we don't use like our exes' names because I don't like to bash them, and it's not like a bashing podcast. And I don't, I expect I want it to be anonymous and all that. So we're gonna pick an alias for your ex. You are famously gay, just like
I'm famously gay, but my ex, I'll talk about, is opposite sex.
Your ex is opposite sex. Okay, so we're gonna, Brandon, pull up the slide. We're gonna help you pick an alias. So these are the top 10 baby names of 2019 to help you pick an alias for your ex-girlfriend. Although now you are, how do you identify? Do you want to or do you not?
I'm gay. I'm gay.
Great, me too. I love that for us.
I love that. And I don't have a shred of bi in me.
Me neither.
I'm a Kinsey 8000.
Me too, but we've both had sex with the opposite sex, right?
I know, and that's what's beautiful about us.
It's beautiful.
I think of these names, it's funny because I think that the one that really says to me this girl would be this name. What I'll say is it's between Aurora and Vivian.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna go with Aurora.
Aurora?
That's kind of hard for me to say, so maybe I'll say Vivian. I'm gonna say Vivian.
Okay, so Vivian. Vivian is your ex-girlfriend's name for this podcast, for this show. Mm-hmm. Cool. You can take that side away, Brandon. Thank you so much. Okay, Vivian is who we're going to be talking about now. Before we start and really dive into it, we do a little segment that is called Dump Stats.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, that song is I did that. That is an original because we don't have rights to music, so that is an original song that I wrote. And this is your baseball card. So, have you ever had a baseball card made about you?
Never in my life.
And here we are, and that's why you're on a lesbian, show because then
Oh.
we do sports stuff.
Mhm.
So Vivian, so this is your ex-girlfriend, so we're just gonna do like quick stats about this. So for Vivian, well, just in general, how many times have you been dumped in general?
One.
Just one. It's just this one.
But
Okay.
I've only been in one relationship before my current one, so
Okay. So you've never dumped someone?
I've never dumped someone.
Never dumped someone. This is your second relationship.
Cool. Yes, unless we count high school. I was like, I dated a girl for 4 months in high school, and I did dump her.
Okay.
But I don't know if that really counts.
I mean, do you want it to count?
I don't want it to count.
Then it doesn't count.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. Why don't you want it to count?
I don't know. I just don't identify as someone who's dumped someone. That doesn't accurately reflect my experience, I don't feel.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why? Do you think because dumping someone is mean? What's their
No, I just think that dumping someone is work. I think it's like labor. And I think that we were not in an emotional state where it was like, I didn't feel those feelings of like, oh no, I have to hurt someone very badly. You know what I mean? Like I did not feel that at all.
It wasn't laborious.
No, not at all.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. For Vivian, how long ago did this happen?
This happened about 10 years ago now.
Wow.
Probably
Okay,
nine and a half years ago.
9.5 years ago. Great. And how old were you when it happened?
21.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little young spring chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you were 21. How long were you and Vivian together?
Like 10 months.
10 months. Okay, almost a year. That's a pretty solid relationship.
Yeah, I never realized it had been that long. We had been friends for a very long time before it.
10 months. Okay, great. And how are you feeling about this breakup right now?
It's funny, it's funny because I came out not till I was 25, so it feels like such a different lifetime.
I know, me too. We're like the same. It's crazy.
Yeah, and our breakup was strange because we were both on the cross country team, so we had all the same friends, and she kind of disappeared from us like then, and so she lives in Chicago now, but she has like a kind of rich husband, and they have a second home in Florida, and no one sees her very much. We reconnected like 18 months ago over the phone, and now every once in a while we'll text back and forth, but it's like talking to a stranger kind of.
Yeah.
So I think what I feel about the breakup is regretful that when someone breaks up with you, you kind of want to like when you want to make them like, it sucks when you're gay because you're like, ultimately this was the right decision for you, but I need you to feel like it was a bad decision for you.
Yeah, and that's how all gay people feel.
Yeah. And so I feel like I kind of really cut her out in a way that was ultimately, I think, made her feel like alienated from our whole friend group. And I think that just stuff she's gone through in the last 10 years, she could have like used some of her college friends. So I wish almost every single day I look back at myself younger and I wish I was like just a little bit nicer. I was a very kind of callous and maybe mean person growing up.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You were surviving. We know that.
Uh-huh.
Surviving. Okay, great. So some regrets. You wish you'd handled the breakup differently, but right now you guys are kind of connected and things seem like she's a stranger, but like, okay.
Yeah.
And then our last quick dump stab is, when this happened, did you go full psycho?
No. Not at this point. Not from that.
Yeah.
I was in a weird space. I gained a lot of weight my senior year of college because I was injured. And I felt psycho because of that. I felt psycho because, maybe I did go a little psycho, but no more than I already was going. Like I already was like into amphetamines, and for me, the breakup represented so much more. It was like, I figured it was like the whole time, it was like, I'm lying to you. I'm trying to pass as this like man that I know that I cannot ever be, but it's so important to me to fool everyone into thinking I am that. By breaking up with me, you kind of are like, it feels to me more not like you saying this isn't working out. It feels like you're saying you are not a man, you're not fooling anyone. You know what I mean? And I think she was very surprised later on when I came out.
Yeah.
So it was different in college. And I remember when we reconnected, she said that when one of our mutual friends told her, she cried. Not because of anything other than the fact that it made her realize how far apart we'd grown and how like not in my life she was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think
when you came out?
when I came out, but I think she didn't find out till like a couple years later when one of our mutual friends told. She was very out of the group, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, that's so hard. Ugh, God, I relate so hard. Just like trying so desperately and being like, if this person breaks up with me, that's like outing me in a fucking
Yeah. And I just felt like spiteful, and I really hadn't treated her very well. My senior year of college was like, I was always really drunk. It didn't feel strange because it was college, but I guess I was always drunker than everyone else. And I also was like very into Adderall at that time. I was always disappearing for like 10 days at a time.
Yeah.
Not answering any texts, and she really didn't like that, and I couldn't figure out why. And ultimately, I remember her thing that she said. She was like, "I deserve better than this," and I remember kind of twisting those words to other people and being like, "She said she's better than me, actually," and like, and she said that. That's so mean. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what possessed her to say that, but she said I'm better than you."
So kind of you went psycho a little bit.
Yeah, I guess I did go kind of psycho. But that when I look back at that time, that doesn't feel like, of all the things that made me psycho, that doesn't feel like one of them. But more of I reacted to it in the way because I was already psycho. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it like pushed you a little bit further. It was like kind of one of those many straws that was like breaking the camel's back. Yeah. I get you on that. Okay, cool. Well, those are our stats. Just to like recap, you've been dumped one time. You've never dumped someone. With Vivian, you guys were together. This happened 9.5 years ago. You were 21, just a young 21-year-old. We were both straight. We were both drinking and drugging like you wouldn't imagine. Same. I was dating a man, all the good stuff. Great. And you guys were together 10 months, which is like a good amount of time. And you went like semi-psycho. We'll say you went semi-psycho.
Yeah.
And more so from other stuff. But
I went full psycho in general, but I would say I would allot a portion of it to the breakup.
Great. Okay, cool. All right, fantastic. So those are the dump stats. So we've got it all covered. So let's just like get into it really quick. Like, how did you guys meet and how was it in the beginning? How was the relationship?
So essentially, like, I went to this school in Baltimore to run cross country and track, and I came in very, very good shape, and I got injured the first season. And a guy who ended up being like my best friend in college got injured as well, and this girl did. This girl fell off of a bridge her first race. It wasn't a tall bridge; it was a short bridge, and she fell off of it. And so I don't know, but if it truly affected like the rest of college, like. We joked that this girl, Maureen, pushed her off because there was she was one of the best freshman girls, and this other girl, this psychotic girl named Mo, was like another freshman girl who was also very fast. She was so crazy, and they were like together, and then only the other girl came out, and Vivian had fallen off the bridge. It was a little footbridge on the cross country course, but like literally, like she was like never the same for the rest of college. She like could never like. Every 3 months she got like a back injury, and she was like, yeah, it's just still from that bridge. And so the bridge was like a huge part of college for me, that one bridge. Anyways,
she got injured. Metaphor, sort of, right?
Right. Yeah. Beautiful. So the three of us, me, my friend, and her, would all aqua jog together, or we would like cross train at the we'd cross train during practice because we couldn't run. And so some of that was aqua jogging, which is like you're literally just like running in the water for like 90 minutes, and like you just talk a lot. So we just like really became tight. Then in sophomore year, like we all lived on the same floor. Like every sophomore and junior on the team lived on the same floor of a dorm, and it was like a psycho year. Mm-hmm. And we were just like very good friends, like would like lie in bed together and like read. And she like made this big dinner for my birthday. And when we were just so close, I remember talking to her and just having long, effortless conversations and feeling like very good friends. And
it feels very gay to me.
I know, but believe you me, I know like a gay, I hope I can say this, a gay fag hag relationship. Like I'm well versed in that. I identify as like a leading expert on that subject. And I had so many of those in college, and this was different. Like she's not a gays girl really. You know what I mean? Like our other friend, Courtney, like She is someone who really we would like giggle, watch stupid MTV shows, like be whatever. And Courtney and Vivian were rivals, and they would never admit it, but they still are to this day.
I mean, the drama of the cross country thing.
Yeah. And so Courtney was more like fag haggy, and then there was something different about Vivian. Just I don't know what it is. Just it wasn't that energy of like, oh, you're a girl, I'm gay. This is like the funnest thing. It wasn't that. It was more of this kind of like slow paced, like deep connection. And she was I will say she was gorgeous, and I was like I was like physically attracted to her on some level, even though I'm a Kinsey 8000. But I started to get, I already had all these insecurities about, like, I looked very young when I was in college. And I was gay secretly, and I already felt so emasculated for some reason, especially in that relationship. And then she was like hooking up with all these older guys who were then my friends. And I started developing this anger towards her. We ended up having sex, and it was my first time having sex in my friend's brother's room on the floor.
Okay.
And I forget like what the deal was. Like, I don't know if we had a condom or what was going on. It would have been unlike me to have a condom at that point, because it wasn't something I was always like, I better be ready to have sex at any second.
Did Viv have a condom maybe?
Maybe. Wait, what's so funny? Maybe Viv had a condom, but what's so funny is that my friend's mom's name is Viv, and it was her house. So it was like very much like, is Viv gonna hear us? I forgot that. Anyways, we had sex, and then it kind of went back to normal when we went back to school for junior year. And then she went abroad. Oh no, she was hooking up with this freshman I got so angry.
I need a family fucking tree.
I know. It's just the thing is, this is what happens. It's all a team. Cross country is a very much like co-ed sport, and then like the boys are on a team and the girls are on a team, but often there's the same coaches, you're at the same practices, and it's very much like an incestuous family.
Yeah.
And every year in college, like this new batch of freshmen come in, and it's kind of this like meat market, and like people just hook up, and like I hooked up with a freshman every year of college, and that's important to say, a girl. And
I mean, I'm not surprised.
And so anyways, I got really mad at her because she was like hooking up with this freshman. It was like so annoying to me. And then she went abroad. And then second semester junior year, we came back for senior year, and I forget where we were coming back from. We were at my dorm. We were like about to go in, and we just started like making out at the door, and then we like went in and had sex, and then we were kind of like dating for the rest of senior year. And that's kind of like how it started.
Wow. Okay, so like a big history, and then you guys sex solidified it. The second sex solidified it, and you went on. Okay, good. So then it seems like it was like then not many hiccups for the rest of the 10 like months. Were you guys like pretty solid, back to like tight friends, and then but having sex?
No, already, I am sure I changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then wait, sorry. And I changed. I was scared of her that I immediately felt anxiety that I didn't realize was about my sexuality. I immediately like never really wanted to see her, and like
Same.
And I blacked out drunk a lot. I know at one point I spit beer in her face out at a bar, like just for no reason. Like that's the thing she was talking about when she was like, I deserve better than this. And I was like, you literally don't. Like I was a monster. And I changed very much. She was no longer my friend. She was this kind of scary thing that I had to like live up to something to fill. Yeah. And I then like kind of shut her out. And it was kind of a constant like, what's going on? Like we should be really connecting, and we're not anymore,
Yeah. So then, okay, so she dumped you. How'd that happen? What happened? What'd you do? And then also, did you then spiral even more? Like, how did you handle a breakup? What happened? And then how did you handle it?
Well, it was the summer after college, and I was living at home, and I'm working at a summer camp. And I visited her once in New Jersey, and then I forget what, like it was, she called me and broke up with me. And I forgot, like, I think she had said she was going to break up with me, like, one time, like, a month prior, and, like, we had, then we didn't break up, even though I think part of me really wanted that. Mm-hmm. And she broke up. I felt angry. I felt betrayed her. I felt, like, just insecure about who I was as a person.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to say, like, what happened next, because then I was, like, living with my family for the next year, essentially, or the next 8 months until I got a job. And so my life was kind of like stupid. Like I coached track at this high school, and like I would see my friends from college sometimes. She worked at this like this is insane. She worked at this like big financial firm called Credit Suisse, if you know it. And
I've heard. Yeah.
she was like an executive assistant or something like that. Wasn't like she was like a psych major. It was kind of like, what are you doing? But again, she's like gorgeous. So it really did feel like she was kind of like New York hot receptionist at like a place.
Yes.
And something happened in that place where she sent some email she wasn't supposed to send that somehow was like illegal. And she got like fired and was like there was like it was like scary. Like everyone was like, wait, is she gonna get like deported? Even I mean, or everyone's like, what's going on? She was a citizen. I don't know what. She just sent some email she wasn't supposed to send, and like the SEC or whatever was like mad, and so she got fired from that job. But she met this guy while she was there, and he was like an older guy, and so I didn't see them very much. But I remember one of our friends had a St. Patrick's Day party in 2011. It was the day before I was racing the New York City half marathon. Okay. And I went there and I had seen her for the first time in a long time. And I didn't really say hi. I was kind of like, we don't talk. And I did not want to meet this guy, her like new boyfriend. And I specifically remember not meeting him. Like 6 years later, I would meet him and he would act like we'd already met. And I would be like, no, we didn't. And he would be like, yes, we did in 2011 at that St. Patrick's Day party. And I was like, I know we didn't. Anyways, I just was kind of like mean and like standoffish to her.
Yeah, for like after that. But I mean, so did like this breakup seems like it wasn't like hugely pivotal, but in a way kind of like it catapulted you into maybe like being not as good a person as you wanted to be, like drinking and drugging and like kind of falling into that, which I relate to immensely. And like I was dating guys and we were trying to make it fit and it like wasn't fitting, and I would just be like, we're sexually not compatible. Like that was a thing, I should say.
Yeah.
But I just like, I feel like, do you feel like you learned a lot from this relationship? Like, is there like overall advice that you would give to someone who like goes through a relationship, especially someone who's like figuring out their sexuality, maybe dating a partner that they don't think is the partner or they don't know? Yeah. For someone who gets broken up with by that, and like what to do in that situation. Because I know for us, it was like we had coping mechanisms that like I wish we could have like done other stuff. But do you have advice? Like, what did you learn from it?
Whoa, hold on 1 second. Hi, before we get to the overall advice, my name's Morgan Miller. You've just been watching me this whole time. I'm the host of Famously Dumped, and I've got a couple of things I got to tell you before we finish up the episode. One, we have an email account, famouslydumped@gmail.com, where you can email me. Maybe you have comments, questions for our guests, questions for me. Maybe you have advice for our listeners, or maybe you have a story about getting dumped that you want to tell me about. So please email me there. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll put it on the podcast. 2, you can donate to the show, which is great. How can you donate? At our Venmo, which is famously_dumped, or you can go on over to my Patreon account, which is patreon.com/MorganMiller1717. Over on my Patreon will live bonus episodes, uncut episodes, and other comedy material that I'm coming out with that will strictly be on Patreon, okay? So head on over there. And finally, don't forget to follow me on social media. Yes, I'm doing a social media plug. Come on, it's 2021. Let's get to it. My social media is MorganMiller17 across the board. And also, I'm on TikTok. Yes, I'm in my 30s. I have TikTok. I kind of blew up over there. So go check me out. That's Morgan Miller Talks, TOKS. And that's about it. You guys, let's get back to the episode. Enough for me. Bring us on back.
You know, at the time, I don't think I learned anything from it. I wasn't the kind of person that would like be very, that would look inward. I think in retrospect, I learned that when I feel angry to like check in with myself, is it just that my ego is hurt and I'm being very, look at my part of it. Like if I did not when I was 21 be like, oh, I spit beer in this woman's face. I've been cruel to her for 10 months. I've been like a terrible person to her. And now I'm like offended that she breaks. You know what I mean? Like I think now looking back at that, I could be like, and then it also came back in this meaningful way when I was in LA and her brother passed away. And like her brother was someone who was in and out of rehab a lot. And since I've known her for 10 years and you never knew how he was doing. And he was 2 years younger than us. And then I hadn't heard anything about her in a while, and then he died. And I remember being like, I was like her best friend in college, and now she has like, it doesn't seem like she has very many friends. Like she's kind of this like stay-at-home wife. They don't have kids or anything. and to this guy that, in my opinion, seems, from my very limited experience, like controlling. And I was like, because I was like that, now she doesn't have like that friendship that should have been there. You know what I mean? So I think I just learned to like chill the fuck out, and like if you're feeling very angry and upset, like maybe just check in with yourself about like if you've really been wronged, and don't like don't be so quick to cut people out of your lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't believe you spit beer in someone's face, especially a woman's.
I don't
It's like
remember it. I know.
very Desperate Housewives of you.
Yeah.
Or Real Housewives, whatever. But it's very like dramatic, and I don't think most men would do that. I mean, maybe that was the first sign of you being gay, which like
Spitting beer in
spitting beer in someone's face. I mean, I've done some crazy shit, but I've never. Maybe, you know what? I think at some point I should do that, because you know you haven't lived unless you've spit.
Yeah. I don't even think it was malicious. I think it was like, I just think, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I was blacked out, so I don't know why I did it. But I don't think we were like in a fight or anything. I think it was like random. Like I think she was like, wait, what just happened? But
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I think like, yeah, I mean, thank God we can check in with our anger and our emotions. I think that's great. And you've grown it just like is so crazy how our stories are just like, they line up. So we like really didn't come out until late, and we were scared. Both of us were really scared. Yeah, I remember that so vividly. Wow. Okay, cool. Well, that's great. I can't believe we got to talk about you and an ex-girlfriend. It's so great. So we have two ending segments that we're going to get you out of here with. And the first segment that we have is called Brandon, bring up the slide. And now, time for horoscopes. Great. So this is called Horoscopes. This is where we will see if you and Vivian were ever meant to be.
Oh my God.
And we'll see if like maybe it should have worked out. So do you remember Vivian's sign?
I believe she was a Libra.
A Libra. Okay, and you're a Scorpio, as I know.
Yes.
The 31st of October, right? You're spooky. You're a little spooky man.
I'm a little spooky bitch.
You're a little spooky bitch. So we're going to figure out if the Libra and Scorpio should have been together, and we go to the most reputable site to talk about horoscopes, and that is google.com. So we'll just type in Libra and Scorpio love compatibility. We'll see if Vivian was the one that got away. Was the fag hag that got away. Oh, let's see. All right, and we click on the first arrow. Always. Oh no, actually, it's just right there, Brandon. You don't have to.
Oh my God.
It says Libra and Scorpio have been called the relationship signs for their coupling capacity. Libra loves to be swept up in the breathless affair, and Scorpio has the urges to merge. Scorpio's intense gaze is iconic to Libra, who comes alive in the object of desire.
Oh my gosh. Gay. Wow, it was all, the writing was on the wall. Gaze.
Gay. There we are. Okay, so good God, google.com, we get it. Okay, you knew we were gay before we did. Okay. That honestly is the most complicated one we've Googled yet. Really? And it feels complicated. It feels like it says it should have worked, but like Libras were more obsessed with you than you were with the Libra.
Yeah, I think it would have worked if I was straight, is what it says. I think that's what, yeah. The underlying is like if this guy was straight. Yeah. The underlying is if Scorpio is straight, then they should probably work.
They should work. So a straight Scorpio and a Libra works, but we had a whole sexuality thing that we had to add to it. And now you're with is the guy you're dating now a Libra?
He's a Virgo.
Oh, another great sign though. I bet Scorpios and Virgos get along.
Definitely, but both intense.
Very intense. Yeah. Wow.
Like
okay.
Both kind of like, but like in a good way.
In a good way. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, google.com.
Thank you, Google.
And then, lastly, we do one more segment, and that is yes, honey. Yes. Yeah, 3 compliments for Morgan.
Oh my! This is the easiest segment I've ever done in my entire career as someone who does segments. Easy. Okay, Morgan, for one, and I hate to lead with this, but that's my personality. I'm gonna lead with it. gorgeous girl. When I came
Wow.
in here, when I saw this girl before me, like every time I see you, I'm somehow shocked that how gorgeous. So
Ugh.
that's one. Two incredible friends. Truly, no one ever been there for me as much as Morg has over the past 8 years, and just really gets friendship and gets how to be there for someone, and that is incredible. And three, I would truly say, fucking crazy brain up there, hilariously funny. The way that she sees the world is so entertaining, and I always can't wait to see like what she's gonna kind of say or make.
Oh, Pat! You son of a bitch. This is why this segment really helps me be whole again. But I just want to say, I feel the exact same way about you. You've been one of my best, closest friends. Like whether we're talking a lot or not, I'm always like, Pat's someone I can go to with literally anything. You are a fucking comedic genius. You know, I've always thought that about you.
Mhm.
And you're gorge, hun. Thank you for leading with physical attributes. I think we all need to understand that that's really important. And I better fucking make you look like this forever. And honestly, why am I single, bitch? Come on. You know what I mean?
It makes no sense for you to be single, but
Thank you.
also, yeah,
Thank
also first time for everything.
Yeah. That's good. All right, Pat. Well, thank you so much. You've been
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Best. I hope to see you very soon.
Likewise.
Out of here. What's your social media? Where can we find you? And what are we doing right now that we can see in, babe?
I literally thought you were saying, what's your social security number? And I was like, ready to give it. My social media is, my Twitter is Poregan, Poregan. That's my Twitter. And my Instagram is Patreegs, Pat Reegs. And what am I doing right now? Yeah, right now I'm not doing a ton. I'm doing my podcast Seek Treatment.
Seek Treatment is great. We love Seek Treatment. And then you have a Comedy Central clip out that people can check out. Yes, I do have that. I think the easiest way to find that is Comedy Central stand up, like YouTube. Just Google Pat Regan. Great. So we'll follow you on all those things. You're so funny on Twitter. Oh my God. You are. I go through such ebbs and flows. Like sometimes I feel like I can't stop tweeting, and sometimes I'm like, I really haven't tweeted in about a month. So I know. I really wish you did more stories, if you want me to be honest. IG story. I know. I used to do a lot. I used to do a lot. Listen, no pressure, babe. No pressure. I'm just saying I love your content and I want more, always. I appreciate that. Yeah. All right, Pat. I love you. We're going to check you out on all those things, and I'll talk to you soon. I love you so much. Guys, that's it. That's another episode of Famously Dumped. We did it. Pat Regan. Oh, God. I mean, the compliments at the end of the show, I'll tell you what, they're going to save my life and also feel very selfish when I actually listen to them. I think that is it for this episode. It was so great to have you guys here. I hope you learned something. I certainly did. This was one where we really broke down sexuality, and we got to do it sometimes. And Pat is the gayest one to talk to the gayest one of me. It really went well, I think, guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Brandon, take us out with a song of your choice, my friend.
Morgan, I've told you this a million times. We don't have the rights to
Famously dumped.